Okay, I just came back from the parade. I've got this totally awkward setup situation here, but anyways, I just got back from the parade, but there's been a couple things that I wanted to talk about. I've got to get them out of my head. So anyways, one of them was, for people who keep wondering, like, how are there anybody supporting this sex education for young kids and stuff? So I got in a debate yesterday with my daughter about it. And so I wanted to share what it is, like what they see. And you got to also remember, she works with kids that have issues because she's a social worker. Like, we've got to break up this fucking education system. There is no reason the kids that are being abused at home should be having the same education as kids that are not. Like, this is just madness to me, but people don't see. They don't see until they see. So anyways, because she said, like, they have little kids who come to school and they don't know real words and they're calling their private parts like cookie or taco, and she said it's important to teach them the words. And she said so many of them are being raped and molested at home that they're trying to educate kids. So she's not talking anything about the gender and stuff. And when I started bringing up some of the stuff I've seen about books and stuff that I've seen at these school board meetings, what parents are presenting and saying, why is my kid learning about oral sex and shit, and these romantic stories with my coach in my private forest to camp out and all this weird shit. So she didn't know about all that stuff. But she's saying the reason why that, like, their profession or whatever is pushing for it is because of all the kids who don't know that it's wrong for someone to touch them, and they're trying to educate them. And I said, well, that just shows we don't need to have kids merge in the same education. Not everybody needs the same thing. There is no cookie cutter solution to this shit. And so then the other thing I wanted to say real quick too was, because I got to get headed out. But, I've got to get this stuff out. It just keeps swimming and swimming and swimming in my head. And shut up. So when I went to the parade, it's just so weird because all of this stuff, I have such a different perspective than I had before. And so when, they were wanting me to go and stuff, I was like, they just make, because to me, when we're talking about love is love, we're talking about love. We're not talking about fetishes and like this extreme shit that comes out at the parade is not anything about love. It's about sex and making it about sex. Like at the fucking end of the parade was a giant vagina who kept opening and closing with this large woman inside showing herself. I was just like, oh my God. And guys out there, marching, and they've got tiny little swim trunks, it's fine if you're feeling empowered, like you really need to show somebody this stuff. But if we're really trying to be like progressive to get people to understand, to stop having the barriers to love and create like a family atmosphere, then we don't need to have stripper shows, drag show, all this stuff going by for people to witness. And then you have kids out there, they want the jewelry that's getting handed out, and then they want to be a part of it and stuff. Like, people just don't see what this is doing to the next generation in the name of progress. They think that they are making it about being accepted, but they're making it more narrow and smaller. And so while I was out there, and the crowd was huge, the parade was much bigger. Those things grow every year. But I was looking around and I was thinking of the size of Spokane and how many people, with the people in the parade and the people on both sides, just jam-packed of people. I was like, this is like at least half of the community here. Like, how can you go out as a gay person in this community and feel like that you're not going to be accepted? Like, most of the community who was here is all about accepting you. So I was sitting there thinking, it's so strange because I feel like so much of this is so accepted, especially because I've gone through time periods where it was not accepted at all. And so watching, and seeing the progress and how far we really have come, And I was just thinking, kids are really accepted right now for who they are. And then we have all these people who are just so extreme, trying to be like, this is who I am. This is who I am. Like there's a lot of very unique individuals out there, who are just wanting to be accepted, and I kept thinking there's so much acceptance out there. And how is it that so many people don't feel accepted? Like, what is the point, kind of, I just kept, and then, they make it all about the corporations. I mean, all of these different ones are these different, like so many insurance companies, banks, are all there showing their support. They don't give a fuck. Even at the end, the helicopters going over, second, it's probably the news trying to get footage. But then at the end, all of the people, it's like the people on the side close in behind the parade and everybody just starts following behind, and then it goes down to a festival. And right when that happened, a helicopter went over, and then I started coughing. I couldn't quit coughing. It was really weird. And my daughter had some water, so I took a sip, and it didn't really help. It felt like I had inhaled something. And then all of a sudden, this one eye just started pouring, like burning, like something went in it. And I just was like, oh, fuck, I bet you we just got sprayed with something. And that's like what the 2 weeks later, that a bunch of people die, and nobody associates it with that. Hell no. How would it have anything to do with that? It was weeks later. Well, that's what they do. They use these chemicals. They're very good at it. And they do aerosols. There's all sorts of shit. When you start doing researching and looking into stuff, conspiracy theories take you to a lot of fucking knowledge. I'll tell you that. You have a lot of information that you find out when you start questioning things. So I was weirded out by that. And then my nose started, like the whole thing with the allergies started right after that. And one weird thing is, like, my eyes are just fucking killing me. Like, I feel like the chemicals here, everybody's just so outraged because of the weather here. Like, it's fucking June and it feels like it's October. Like, we've been stuck in October. We've been stuck in October 2021 for fucking 6 months, I swear to God. And so everybody here is really irritated because of this, but nobody's questioning. I keep saying it's fucking weather manipulation. It's a fake ass sun. Like, my daughter's plants are suffering and doing weird stuff, like all sorts of weird stuff. She's talking about all her fingers are really swollen, and mine are so swollen. I couldn't even wear my rings. My fingers they look like little beefy sausages. They're like so swollen. And my feet, like everything is really achy here. So I don't know, between the chemicals, because they have a really strong atmosphere sprayed over here. And so, between the chemicals and the noise, because I can hear it super, super loud. So, but my eyes are just fucked. I cannot wait to get home and get that crystal. I'm so excited. God, I'm really having so much hope about it. But what I was going to say was, so while I was walking, because my daughter because she was like, she could tell I was feeling really awkward, but there was more. I want to say real quick about that. But so I was feeling super awkward because as I was walking, I was feeling like I was floating because it was such a huge crowd. And my daughter's like, when is the last time you've been around a bunch of people? I was like, probably the last Pride Parade I went to like 3 years ago before quarantine. Like, I don't know. I haven't been around. I've been locked in my house. And so, she's thinking, that I'm feeling so weirded out about people. But it was like, it's more like I'm trying to walk around a lot of people. Because when I'm looking up to monitor, I'm not going to run into anybody. I can't see the bottom. I can't see the sidewalk. It's like I'm floating in the air. And then I'll stumble and stuff, but I can't see anything below. And then when I'm looking down, I have to look so far down to see my feet and see the ground. So it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that was like, is this really what I want to be doing? So anyways, the other thing was when I was looking at all of these people, and I was just like, man, I touched somebody and I got this overwhelming, like, oh my God, it hit me like a Mack truck, and I just started bawling, and I was like, oh my God. But this overwhelming feeling of not feeling accepted, you know, and I was just like so hit, like looking at all these people and how so many of them were so extreme and just so fetishy and so just, you know, I'm so weird, please somebody accept me. And it was just, I just all of a sudden I was just looking at it so different than I did the last time I was at one, and I was just heartbroken and overwhelmed, and then plus to see how they use these people's confusion and their lack of love for themselves in an agenda against them, you know, like what they're doing to use this insecurity to direct society, the collective, in a certain direction to harm the next generation, you know, and it breaks my fucking heart. But when I just look around at the huge amount of people, again, I get so overwhelmed by how many people live in pain, live in so much pain. Fuck. We live in so much pain and so much never feeling accepted. And it is heartbreaking, you know, because it's just is so common. So many people feel rejected by everybody else. And it's all manufactured, you know. If we can start breaking through some of this stuff, we can start creating the world that we want and leave all this rejection behind, because that's what I see. I mean, anybody who understands the soul knows the soul has no gender. Like, and there should never be any question of who you love and who you want to be with and all of that stuff. Like, that should never even be something that we even talk about. But everything is sexualized. Everything is turned into sex, which changes the whole shenanigans into something different, you know. And then it's they want us to accept. The stuff they want us to accept is always that ethical question. They want to push stuff to the furthest degree, and they want us to accept it. And most of us who are in touch with our soul, we have a moral compass that says, no, this is not acceptable. I don't align with this. And that is the breaking free right now. That is the split. It is us with our own soul saying, hey, I'm not in alignment with this. But, you know, I kept feeling so much like how sad it was that all these people have to go out here and, you know, show pride or whatever to feel accepted. And I don't know, it shouldn't be like that. It just is, and how it gets used against them. And then we go walking back to get in the car and stuff, and then there is a homeless guy over there in the parking lot. You know, he's got everything he owns and a couple of blankets on. And I said, well, it sure didn't help that guy, did it? You know, all of this pride, all of this progression, what are we really doing? It was like, you know, I mean, right there with this parade where everybody is so important. Everyone, please accept me. The world must accept me, or I can't accept myself. Please, everyone. And then walk away from this progressive movement and see there's people who are really hungry and on the streets. There was one guy I passed, you know, they throw candy. I got a pocket full. I'm picking it up off the street. But there was a homeless crazy guy, which I'm a crazy girl. And so I'm down, I was picking some up. But anyways, as we were leaving, he was just down there and he was talking to himself and picking up candy like, oh, thank you. You're so sorry. You know, he was so excited. But, you know, I mean, all this progress, where is it moving us to? What, I mean, the homeless amount of people that are becoming homeless here just keeps growing and growing and growing. And the people are not leaving the cities. They're staying in the cities to compete with the limited resources that are going to be coming. Like, people have got to start seeing what the game is that is going on, what they're playing here, and what is happening. They're going to be taking resources. They're going to try and pine us one against each other. They want the purge. They don't have time to come and kill us all. And I saw, even though they're doing it, but, you know, I don't know, because they could literally, I think they have fun with it. I swear to God, I think they have fun dragging it out, because they could literally gas the entire planet overnight and kill 3/4 of the people easily. Like, they have that ability. So then it's like, you know, we're kind of a cat and a mouse. Before a cat would kill a mouse, it plays with it, just fucking bats it around, chases it. It has a whole little game. And I think that's what they're doing with us. And they're just kind of batting us around, playing with us. You know, how sick can we make them? And they laugh at it, you know, they think it's a joke. They're learning from it, you know, they're doing experiments on us. So, and, but anyways, I was just like, you know, the people who are out there screaming for people to accept them are not realizing, like, we have bigger problems. We have big problems. You got to start accepting yourself. We don't need the world to accept us. We need to accept ourselves. We need to love ourselves. There's people who have no homes and are hungry. We've got to move towards a society that really truly is all-inclusive, that really is there for one another. You know, that when somebody doesn't have a home, that we all go out and build them one. And we got to get out of this idea that we need 3,000 square feet to make us happy. I've been living in 650. And, you know, when I do the math, I've got a lot of outdoor living space that a lot of people wish they did, but they've created all their indoor living space. You know, we've just got to change our priorities and start seeing what's important and start making changes. But we could easily, you know, just go out and put up houses like they used to, like the Amish and stuff. Like, go out. Somebody doesn't have a home, you go out and give them a goddamn barn. You know, we don't need all of this stuff that they have told us we need. And we have surrounded ourselves with stuff that becomes possessions, that becomes things that we have to defend and hold on to and protect. You know, we don't live free. And that maybe sometimes some people have to let go of their physical things to understand what freedom and how they really were being held back by what they owned or what they thought they owned. So anyways, everything is just a new way to look at things. But I was just having so many, like I thought it was important to share, you know, my daughter's perspective on why they're teaching certain things at school, and hopefully she respected some of the stuff that I shared with her. And, you know, and I've been, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you, I am just nonstop with the, you know, oh yeah, well, somebody starts talking about, you know, my daughter's just talking about her fingers are really swollen and really hurting, and she has no idea, well, I'm poison, toxins. Look at the sky. And I've got, well, one thing is because my daughter's hair, but you know, even though it's sticking out, it's good because I'm getting new hair growing. So thank God for that. And I'm doing natural stuff. I'm doing the biotin and almond oil. And I switched over to those soap bars. So I'm just really trying to get more and more natural. And that's why I keep trying to tell my kids, you got to stop, go more and more natural. The chemicals are meant to make our body stop working efficiently for itself in the herbs and the plants and stuff. And now they're trying to turn it into us people that are like this. We're out to destroy the world. Like, they just turn shit around. But you know, I've seen this game before when being physically fit became a thing, and people were getting all into it, and everybody was in great shape. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it was like they turned it into fat shaming people. People weren't, I don't even remember. Like, if you cared about or if you took care of yourself, suddenly you were an anorexic psychopath. So they have ways of playing these games to fuck with our heads all the time. And I see so many people, just more confirmation to me again that we're going into, once we get over this hump, once things turn the other direction, it's not going to be all peaches and sunshine. There's going to be a lot of pain and a lot of people that have to do a lot of healing. I see it around me all the time. And, you know, I hope it's going to go a lot faster, but when I put it into perspective of how long I've been having to do my healing and awakening, you know, everybody deserves the same amount of time, and some people may take longer and some people may be quicker. And then the other part of it is how much it has to do with ego and how many people really enjoy really into their egos. You know, just like these people who, you know, all of a sudden they see themselves as spiritual and they realize certain things, and suddenly they've got all the answers for everybody, and they start, you know, just coming at people. And it's like, this whole spiritual awakening is very individual, you know, it's very individual. And you're going to awaken to your own level and your own ability to open your own mind and really comprehend what this world is and what you are and your abilities. I think people's abilities are wherever you think they stop. I think that they can go as far as you can go. It's just all in the control of, it's like lucid dreaming. It's a control. Like, I think that we have so much abilities to change what we consider matter by seeing it. Like, it has all to do with manifestation. And I've seen it happen so many times by keep looking at an area. Like, even if you picked a blank wall in your house, and every day if you went and looked at that blank wall, and don't look at it as a blank wall, look at it as what you want on that wall. Just keep seeing what you want on that wall. Day after day. It may not take, and it may go like, oh, and then all of a sudden, you know, it depends on all the, what you see there. But, you know, it could be like one thing comes and then another thing and stuff just starts coming, and all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my God, this wall looks exactly like what I was picturing. It works every time. You know, and it just takes us to focus on it, you know. And I know that we can do it with our healing, our bodies, all of it. So anyways, I got to get going over to that thing. It seemed like there was something else I wanted to talk about, and it's very hit and miss when I have a couple minutes to myself. So I can't think of anything, but I know there was something else I was going to say, but I'll try and catch you later. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.